Thank you for tuning into the latest episode of the Splashcast, your go-to podcast for news and discussion in the world of sports. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our football segment of episode 165 of the Splashcast, Monday Night Raw. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe. You know, we start out with we did HBCU. Now we're doing college football, and then we'll get to pro football. Got a lot to talk about today in college football. Let's start. Where are we going to start? Where you want to start, Norwood? I'll start. We'll start out with the number 2 team in the nation that handled business in an ugly fashion and beat the unranked Florida Gators. I'm talking about the Georgia Bulldogs beat the Florida Gators 34-20. The defense won. The offense lost. Everybody lost this game. Full stop. How'd you feel about it? I know you watched it. How'd you feel about it?
Tell me what you feel about it. I want to know what you really think about this game.
Shout out to Georgia and Kirby Smart for having depth. Trevor Etienne had looked up to this game for a long time. Started out pretty well, and then ended up hurting his rib. And once you hurt your ribs, especially in a rivalry game, you hurt your ribs, they gonna put you in that rib for the rest of the game. And he didn't play, but we had the depth. We had the number 1 running back of 2024. 2024. Nate Frazier came in, 19 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Gator chomp, all of that, threw it out, hit it out the park, did all of those things. Defense. Shout out to the defense, man. Shout out to the defense. Let me tell y'all who the Georgia defense was playing against: Florida and Carson Beck. Every time they went and made a play, Carson Beck just came and gave the ball right back to Florida. And let me tell you something, I was a little nervous when he threw that first pick, and I said, look, y'all, if there's anything Florida can do, is DJ Lagway can throw the ball down the field. I did a whole reaction video. Y'all make sure y'all go like it, follow, and subscribe on the Splashcast, YouTube, or wherever you get your social media, TikTok, Instagram. I did a whole little response video. Carson Beck I said he's going to be treated like John Parker Wilson. All of those 2008 to the 2016 before they got Jalen and Tua. All those quarterbacks, Jake Coker, all them dudes from Alabama, where they just played defense, ran the ball, and threw it up to one good receiver. That's what they're going to do with Carson Beck. They're going to have to treat him as a game manager. He can't do it. We've now had 3 top 10 matchups. I'm sorry, 2 top 10 matchups. He's thrown, in the last 3 games, he's thrown 11 picks. 11. That's the Peterman type stat. And we still won. And I said at the beginning of the year, I said, hey, man, for some reason, Carson Beck got to get slapped in the face before he can actually play well. And it's been like that every single game. Every game, bro. We barely beat Mississippi State. And y'all know me, Norwood didn't let me go now, so I'm going. Y'all know I don't like Mike Bobo. I think Mike Bobo is one of the worst offensive coordinators of all time, in my opinion. Y'all can tell me he averages 40 points till you blue in the face. I don't give a damn. We'll score 34 points in quarter 1 and 3 points for the rest of the game and win by 6 points. I don't like that. But the last 4 games, he's called really good games. And I can't even blame him because Carson Beck has been so bad. It was one play. They had Lawson Lucky, who should be the next great tight end of Georgia, was wide open for a first down, and Carson Beck saw him, looked him off like this. Y'all see me looking? Looked him off like this. Looked over here to the 3 Florida defenders and said, you know what, I'm going to throw it right there. The Florida defender caught the ball and was surprised. Like, I know he ain't about to throw it. And
he is not the guy used to getting interceptions. You could tell by the way he was running. He was like, oh, I'm going to run in circles.
I'm going to run in circles. He was a freshman. Now, the first interception was actually just really good coverage. So what they've been doing with Carson Beck is running the same coverage. They run and disguise. It's a disguise zone. So basically they act like they're running man for one guy and run zone for everybody else, and then they drop him off and he gets it. So that first one, he actually had the flat, and then he dropped off to the deep third, and he got the pick. After that, all the other picks, I was like, Carson, bro, you and Kirby. Just see, I'm gonna go. Go ahead.
We got cheated, y'all.
Who?
We got cheated, y'all. Everybody, we got cheated. Let me just say that. I know the NSA listening because they took out my boy DJ Lagway. Y'all did the right thing. Y'all eliminated the lead dog, our creator, our future.
We ain't take him out.
DJ Lagway.
He didn't get hit when he got hurt.
Hey man, whatever happened, we got cheated. I don't know who did it. I don't know if it's an imaginary man out there pulled a man's leg off. What happened? But it was looking too good. I was sitting here on my sofa, and I'm just watching him play. I'm like,
quiet, no text, no nothing. Boy, ain't did nothing.
I had time to text. I was sitting here in awe. I was like, oh Lord, I didn't want to move from my spot. I was like, oh, and Carson Beck keep throwing these stupid interceptions. We keep on catching it. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't going to say nothing, but I like the way that it's looking. DJ, throw the ball down the field. Offense was doing enough. The defense played well. And I'm just, whoo, boy, let me tell you, the Yankees had just lost. I'm feeling real good about things.
My life let me go and call Vegas real quick.
Man, everything going my way. And I'm like, and Lagway is leading. And Beck is blowing it. And I'm like, this best of both worlds.
Out there. But the defense didn't play bad.
No, but get out of there. Then DJ made a cut, and it didn't look that bad, but he just couldn't move. And I was like, no, Lord, this was going too well for us for this to happen. And then they brought the card out. That's when I was like, oh, Lord, this is the second quarterback we done had. Mertz over there looked like he finna cry, and I was finna cry too. I'm like, bro, you can't keep taking quarterbacks away from us. And I'm talking about Mertz was like over there, like, I think he was crying. And Lagway was just looking like, I ain't going back in this game for sure. He just had that, it not like a scared look or a hurt look, just like, I'm not going to be well enough to play in this game to save you guys. And the only way that you guys are going to win if I'm here to save you guys. And after that, we played valiantly for as long as we could. We got the backup kid from Yale, who I was like, he's probably going to make pretty good decisions. If you're smart enough to get into Yale, you probably make pretty good decisions. You probably know the playbook. But his skill level, I think he was a freshman at Yale, so he's probably like a redshirt freshman with Florida, but he just wasn't enough. And Smart only going to take you so far against one of the best defensive lines in the country. And just after that, it was just kind of, we were out of it. As soon as we lost Lagway, I made peace with it.
That was my point.
We played good for as long as we could, and I respect that. It frustrates me because it's like, to me, it's the worst case scenario. Billy looked just good enough, long enough for people to be like, oh, that might be something, the Lagway Billy Napier situation. But remember, Lagway could have been playing all season. He chose to play Graham Mertz, who once again not happy that he's hurt. But I came into this season like Billy Napier is so bad at his job that he allows me to be able to assess his situations in less than 5 minutes every time, and I'm right. When I watched 5 minutes of the first time that Billy Napier coached the Gators, what did I tell you, Reggie?
He's not a good coach. You said that the first game. He was like, yo, we've thrown 25 screens.
Now, if I can come into this season and look at Graham Mertz and look at DJ Lagway and say, oh, boy, well, first of all, this other guy only has 1 year because he's a 7-year senior. He's not your future. Why are you playing him in the first place instead of playing Lagway, who's the number one quarterback in his class? What are you doing? All he did was waste everybody's time. So, and one more thing, I want to go ahead and give y'all this injury update because we're not finna do that. They talking about he's questionable to play against Texas. You better not play him against Texas. He is our future. Now, Billy Napier, I understand you probably don't have a future here at Florida. The best thing you can do, though, is not ruin that kid's leg in the process.
I knew he was hurt for real because I'm actually happy that one, it wasn't a knee or an Achilles. Two, well, it wasn't a knee or an Achilles. Two, I'm happy that he didn't tear his hamstring off the bone because when he fell, nobody hit him. And he just slipped. And when he slipped, and now the cameras are so good, you can see the muscle kind of ripple. And when he slipped and the muscle rippled, I said, uh-oh. That look, and I tore my quad in high school off the bone. That hurts. And when he immediately went and grabbed his hamstring and did not straighten his leg at all, and then they brought the card out. It went from, okay, they
started bringing that card. You like, man, I hope he keep his leg. Like,
yeah, like in the Georgia players, the whole stadium was just like, because one thing about Billy, he's a bad coach, all of those things. He was coaching for his job. For him, when they got that first pick, I said, the right thing to do is to throw the ball deep first play. And that's exactly what he did. I said, oh, well, Billy coaching. And even with DJ Lagway, he was running counter. He really was starting to coach. And I was like, oh, they playing well. And when he got hurt, the air left. I saw it on floor. I think I texted you. I said, or put it in the group. I was like, the air is out of Florida's team. And they ended up.
You didn't need. You could see everybody came to the same conclusion at the same time. Oh, it's over. And that's the reason I'm asking, like, leave Lagway alone. Like, you can't leave this place better than you found it, for sure.
And I'll qualify this.
You can do.
Oh, go ahead.
Is not ruin our future. That's the only thing. And it's such a tough place to be in because he needs Lagway to be to be able to play to keep his job. But that's not the right thing to do with a kid that's shown that much promise.
Now, I will qualify this now. DJ did have that one 47-yard pass to take the lead at the beginning of the second quarter. But he only completed one more pass for one more yard. Like, Georgia's defense played really, really well. They only allowed 9 completions. Now, 2 of them was for DJ, and Aiden Warner had 7, and I think 6 of them came on the last drive to score that touchdown. But what was scary about this game was Florida has 2 running backs that are freshmen. One from Atlanta, one from Florida. Jacoby Jackson, who scored a touchdown, and Jaden Ball. Jaden Ball was running through everybody. And he looks like, now he might not be there next year because all the fluctuation, because once you fire a coach, then you have 6 months to be able to go to wherever you want to. And he's basically putting out tape. And now he looks like that dude. But they got something over there.
The thing about it, though, is that's the reason that Billy got to go, is that we consistently had the talent. We had Etienne. We have Elijah Badger. We have Wilson. We have we lost Prince. We had Montreal, who's hurt, and we have these 2 running backs. There's no shortage of really good players. Mm-hmm. He just hasn't been able to produce with them. We have to go in a different direction. There's nothing left for us to try to do, attempt to do, or think about doing. It's time to break up. I wish you the best of luck. And by best of luck, I mean I wish you go to hell.
I wish him the best of luck. I wish you to stay. But again, like I
bet
said,
you do.
He was coaching for his life. 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 All right, let's get to the violence. We didn't give y'all a lot of violence in the pregame. Oh, it said this is sensitive. See, real.
Oh yeah, because hey, for all the people with the video experience, this is sensitive. Trigger warning. If you got your ass whooped lately, you might not want to look directly at this.
Patrick Mahomes is hurt after throwing a touchdown pass. And it looks bad. I think Patrick Mahomes may have just torn his Achilles. Breaking news.
I don't think so. It looked like he just stuck
Nah. It looked like here we gonna find out. It's either a knee or an Achilles. It's one of the two. But it's ugly. And he goes and it's immediate. He looks back at he's looking back. Yeah, right there. It's either a knee or an Achilles, but it's something. It's non-contact. Patrick Mahomes, non-contact injury on a touchdown flip. And now he's being carried off the field, helped off the field, putting no weight on his right leg. And it was immediate. It was immediate.
Damn, 23 or 2,989 yards, 2 touchdowns, and undefeated, boy.
Ooh, left leg. That was it right there. And his knee buckled inside. ACL. I hope it's an ACL and not an Achilles. Damn, 23, 29, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dang, that just
Undefeated. He's walking. I don't know. And he ginger, though.
Nah, ain't. Well, Carson Wentz. Talk about getting your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 7th chance. Carson Wentz. He has 23,000 yards passing. Wow. Who knew?
Yeah. Yeah, thoughts and prayers to Mahomes.
Oh, he's walking. Okay. Oh, you're a little bit ahead of me.
Carson,
I'm streaming on my phone.
Yeah. Carson Beck is a pick machine. He's really done his best to really make sure that he's not QB1. Or I mean, he gonna mess around and play so bad he gonna end up on a good team.
USFL, bro. Who gonna sign something? Yeah, if I'm him, I go call Nathan Peterman and be like, "Yo, how did you do it? How do you were able to throw 5 interceptions in a game multiple times and still be signed? What did you do? I'm gonna model myself after that." Or he could just say, "You know what? I'm going back to the crib. I got a Lamborghini truck and however many millions of dollars."
That is the good part about NIL. You can get rich and never be good. Because you are
garbage. But speaking of garbage.
Butt cheeks. Speaking of butt cheeks.
So if you've ever been to the Georgia-Florida game, you know that it's called the biggest cocktail party on earth. It is liquor, it is food, it is the barter system. Money really ain't no good there for real because everybody pre-buys everything. So you just go there with your liquor or your ribs or your chicken or your steak and you barter or your hot dogs and hamburgers. So everybody is equally drunk.
Or your dad and your uncle sneak you into an SEC tent and then you just eat all the food.
All the food.
That
don't nobody ask no questions. May not,
man, you gotta really be looking back at your parents like, boy, y'all did some very irresponsible things. And I was a part of these things as a child, unbeknownst.
And I will say that's what the others got on us now. When they party and they spend money on a lot of stuff.
Oh no!
And they're very welcoming.
You haven't been to homecoming. You haven't been to homecoming recently. That's where we are.
Well, I'm saying they're very open. But what I'm saying is, but when it comes to being drunk and fighting, woo, them Gators got stomped out on the field and off. It just means more in the SEC. This is woo. Look at the Georgia fans just looking like Lord. Oh,
he been waiting. He been practicing. That boy hit him with the overhand right fist club upside. And that's an old man. That man whole sunroof knocked loose, boy. God.
What I want y'all to see, because I'm gonna pause it when this plays for those that are audio experience. You watching somebody get beat up, but the video experience, I'm gonna show y'all at the very beginning. It's hilarious to me. Right here, you're gonna see that foot right there on that man's face. You see that? Somebody helping him out.
Stomp him out. Hey, boy, you got rights and lefts and rights.
And that dude, whoever that guy is, I mean, he whooping his ass. And this ain't the only time. He did this too.
Yeah, boy.
Oh Lord, my bad, y'all. He did this too.
That boy.
I'm scrolling over. Hold on, don't worry about it. I got y'all.
This
y'all
man he done made overtime, double time, time and a half, time with whooped ass. Whatever it is. Now and I give him his credit. He not gonna come in at 1,000. Now you might want to check the volume on this. I will prepare y'all.
Yeah, you sure
This
didn't tell
gentleman
me.
here, this gentleman here throws out the N-word midway through this.
We ain't even gonna do that. We're gonna mute that site because I don't need to be mad tomorrow.
No. Because I think they bleep it out. But he throw it out there, and no sooner than when that gentleman throws out the N-word, does my man throw out his taser. He said, "Oh, He said, "Don't touch me." And then my man hit him with the, we calling people names, huh?
And then he took the taser out.
Now I will say, he ate that taser. He ate that taser like an appetizer. That's not how tasing school, I think, it goes. Every time I see that people get tased, they lock that body up. He got tased.
It hurt. Cause that's when he fell. Cause he turned that nozzle up.
That's that second taser. But my man say, bro, I don't want to tase no way. I throw left over left. That boy, he hit the other man with so many rights. He was only throwing left.
And that man's like, nah. He connecting too, cause he got bloody face.
Yeah.
Bloody eye.
And the thing about it is, if you listen to it, this gentleman goes from calling the black dude the N-word to being very respectful. Hey, dude, he talked to the white cop, though. He was not talking to the black cop like this at all. Dude, it wasn't that bad. Was not trying to do this. No, they asked you to get up. You are very
multiple
defiant.
times.
So
then you said, don't touch her. And your girl. See, and shout out to the women that deal with our drunk asses. Because we be confrontational. And his girl was like, hey, chill out.
They're going to lock you up. They ain't going to lock nothing up. And I was like, boy, you don't see he got them cuffs in his hand. He going to lock you up. And then that man said, and I done tased you ate that taser? Well, you know, I ain't got, I'm all out of tasers. All I got left is these lefts.
901. Let me go ahead and we gotta subdue this. Rowdy man. 901. I'm throwing lefts. Officer down. That's exactly what he just did.
These tasers charges. I ain't got nothing left but these lefts. Oh my God, boy.
Take that with you.
Know that was on the menu. The boy got to the bottom of the menu and said, I see rice.
What's that? I see knuckles. What's that? Knuckle sandwich.
I ain't gonna lie. I think both of these people are probably Florida fans.
All of them. That was the Florida man. Florida fan, Florida man. That's exactly who that was.
Y'all don't go to these games and act like thugs. That's the problem. And I need to know, did you have a father that raised you?
Audacity.
You in a single family?
You thought you could talk trash to a black man. You can't talk to trash to a black man in uniform. You talk trash to a black man outside, you might get shot, beat up. But you out here, you get beat up on tape messing with the police. See, we know. We don't have audacity.
You should have done to that man right there. He should have.
We don't have that audacity because we know. You acted as if you had audacity, Mr. White Man, and that black man put that down.
It's time for you to get up. He said, I ain't going
nowhere.
No,
don't touch
I'm going
me.
to tell you what he really said. He said, I ain't going nowhere, and I might have to kill a cop. Now, you know, we would never say nothing like that. We would just be a RIP on the screen.
Kill a cop in the stadium with no weapon. You threaten a cop with weapons in the stadium with no weapon. Let me tell you something. Yeah. Whatever liquor that was, you need to turn that away. Pour that out for the homies. That's what you need to do. Leave that alone.
That ain't even an option for black people to be like, well, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna have to kill a.
I'm gonna have to cut. Then the filter show up and you at Heaven's Gates like, what happened? How'd I get here? You said you was gonna kill a cop.
I woke up at a Michael Jackson concert. How did I get here?
Whoa, with Prince there too. What's happening? Coincidence showed up? Lord, is everybody here? Jesus? What happened? Is that Jesus? Is that Jesus? You be tapping the angel like, what's the score of the game? Oh, the game's still going on, big dog. You just had to hurt.
OJ, I know you let you up here.
Orenthal. How you doing, Orenthal? Oh, man. Tell me, why did they name you that? All right, we're going to move on.
Oh, my God. But yeah,
white folks with that audacity.
When you go into these people's venues, you thugs. Should check to
Moving
see
on.
if he had drugs on him. He looked like
Probably
drug
had,
behavior.
yeah, a little meth. You know, that's they weed is meth. They be on that meth like it's nothing.
Oh, you know that Jacksonville meth.
Them teeth, you know, he's my teeth be brown.
He got that shatter. Bro, what? No, bro, it's a cocktail party.
Oh, they done gave Patrick Mahomes some drugs. He's walking back on the field. Wow. Update. Patrick Mahomes looked like he was on the ground like his whole leg fell off. And now this is going to add to his lore. All right, moving on. College football. Moving on. Now I got to set all of this back up. But Ohio State beat Penn State 2013. Not only did Ohio State beat Penn State 2013, Ohio State should have lost this game. Penn State should have won this game. Shout out to Ohio State's defense. They had 2 goal line stands, one at the end of the game, one at the end of the first half that ended up as an interception, one at the end of the game to win the game on one of the worst play calls you could probably call on 4th and goal from the 1 yard line or from the 3 yard line. James Franklin, a whole bunch of thoughts. You watched this game?
Yes. I knew that Ohio State wasn't that good. We knew that Penn State wasn't that good. So ultimately, first thing, not a big surprise here. Now, James Franklin, I think they say you're 1-5 against teams that are 5 or better. That's completely unacceptable. Ohio State, they're not nearly as scary as anybody else. Like, I think that they might have a tough time with somebody like Bama, honestly. This offense ain't scary to me. You have 2 good players, but as a team, I'm not afraid of this offense. So for me,
the offensive line ain't great.
Is this none of this is real to me, to be completely honest.
They play,
James Franklin. Don't get mad because people's talking trash to you after the game. You want to ask young man, what's your name? No.
You don't even know my name. Win. Yeah. You ain't gonna try to get me kicked out of school.
But if you're gonna talk trash, tell me your name. No, we pay. He probably go and he looked like he went to the school. I paid. You know what they like to say? I pay your salary, Bucko. Yeah, you're not winning enough. Now the issue is
you're in a good position.
You probably can't find a better coach.
Nobody better. Well, they may go back to Vanderbilt. They may go to Vanderbilt. You can go to SMU. Penn State is one of those teams that you have. Penn State is one of those schools that no matter how much they underachieve, it's still Penn State because you get way more money. You're going to get so much more money, so much more recruiting. You can get somebody. I could see them going after Heupel at South Alabama. I can see they put up 70-something points a couple weeks ago. I could see them going after.
Do it.
They could.
I don't think that he's good enough. I don't think that he's been good enough to keep this job. But I don't think that it's good. I don't think it's a prudent idea for you to find somebody else.
Not Heupel. It's Heupel. Heupel's there. Yeah, no, Heupel's at Tennessee.
Whoa, no, Heupel is at Tennessee. I was gonna let
Major Applewhite. You know, it's some of them names. Some of their names. They talk about our names. Some of them names be Major.
He said all of your names sound alike. Is what Reggie just told y'all.
They all and they got the same aesthetic too. But anyway, Ohio State won. So they are pretty much a lock to make it to the Big Ten championship game, I believe. I think they just got to beat Michigan, and Michigan lost again. We'll talk about that later.
Michigan, I think is. Oh man, let me look at the Big Ten. I think it's
Michigan. I think it'll be a Penn State, Michigan-Penn State type of rematch, or a Penn State Ohio
Michigan,
State
Oregon.
Rematch. Or Oregon Ohio State rematch, or Oregon. Yeah. Oregon, Ohio State rematch.
No, you're wrong, buddy. Sorry. Indiana and Oregon at the top of the Big Ten.
Indiana.
Big Cincinnati.
Cincinnati out there. Now that might be the new coach of Penn State.
And I didn't put that on this conversation because of how they whooped Michigan State. But Michigan State was up 10-0, and then Indiana went to trouncing and Michigan State could not do anything. And that's crazy because Michigan State they're kind of a hybrid. They're a basketball and football program, but never in a million years do you think the Indiana's football program passes Michigan State's for sure. And that they're 100% better. And I'm talking about 30 points better. And of course, y'all know I hate Michigan State, so nothing but pain and strife over there as well. No thoughts, no prayers. Just hate.
Miami.
Hope y'all get whooped like them Florida men.
Miami won 53-31. Another chapter put into Cam Ward's storybook season. Shout out to Duke. They were winning, and Duke was up 28-17 in the third quarter, late into the third quarter. And I thought Duke was going to pull this out. And then Cam Ward turned into Cam Ward, and they ended up outscoring them 36-3 through the rest of the game. And it was just on him. It was all Cam. Throws he was making, running the ball. Like, he's so smooth. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's nice. Cam is nice.
Duke probably is a team that their season's gonna be really good. They lost to Georgia Tech, who is a difficult team to play against, and they beat Florida State. But they set Florida State on this. Then they lost to SMU, which is looking like you can buy a conference. And then they lost to Miami. And we called this game on Saturday Morning Live. We said, hey, man, Miami's going to score a bunch of points, but Miami's defense can be had. 31 points for Duke. Oh, man. This is a selling point right now.
Shout out to...
And once again, Malik Murphy. I'm so happy.
I couldn't think of his name. Malik Murphy.
I'm so happy you got the hell away from Texas. It just wasn't a place where you could be successful, which lends itself to the reason that the transfer portal, he is a transfer portal, I would say, success. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm in a place where, sure, I'm good, but I'm never going to have a chance to start ever. Between a guy who's one of the highest touted, prospects, and then I have a name behind me that we've been waiting for a decade. So yeah, he moves to Duke, 24-41, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Now
that's how Miami won, the interceptions, because they were on the ropes. They were running over Miami's defense. They were running through. They were running around. Shout out to Vanessa. I thought that Miami was going to lose this game, and that was going to, nobody respects the ACC, so that was going to take him out of it. But shout out to Cam Ward, man. He's now QB1 to be drafted. 25 or 40.
They both went 25 or 41. Malik Murphy, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Cam Ward, 25 for 41, 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's really it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In a nutshell. But I will say, Duke, you got a lot to build off. 12 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown for Peyton Jones. Like, Duke, y'all got all the doctors over there, right? Y'all see SMU is just spending money to win. Spend your money. Now, y'all got a basketball program that's elite, so y'all might just invest y'all money over there, because I saw Cooper Flag.
I about to say, Cooper Flag dunked on everybody. Okay.
You're right. Keep y'all money in basketball. If you can win some football games, win some football games.
Hey, man, the biggest story of the year is not Miami, though. It is Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt beat Auburn, and now they have beaten the entire state of Alabama for the first time since 1955. This is before integration. They have not beat the state of Alabama since 1955.
Yeah. The state of Alabama is ruled by the nerds, and I love it. I love it.
The DEI nerds. This is everybody.
and I'm happy for it. And yeah, this is the thing though. Everybody out of there at the end of the season. Coach out of there, Pavia out of there. That's the thing. As soon as they have anything good, it's gone, and it's gone forever.
Yeah, if you can, it's like if you turn, it's like Duke. If you could turn Steve Spurrier, you're a Spurrier guy. Steve Spurrier turned Duke into a powerhouse. Florida was like, hey, Steve, come on back home, big dog. You been at Duke too long. He was there 3 years?
Steven.
Come on back. Come on, it's Steven. What you doing?
Well, also, yes, that's what I want to get to. Right.
So Vanderbilt linebacker Brian Longwell made sure to keep receipts from an Auburn coach after the Commodores won 17-7. 2 years ago, which was Hugh Freeze, they sent him a text on Christmas that said he was already committed to go to Auburn. They said, Brian, I'm sorry, buddy. We're not going to sign a high school linebacker in this class, more than likely. You're a great player with a bright future. Hope you and yours have a Merry Christmas. And he kept that for 3 years. 2 years. There's no way that I know nobody knew, and I know that he didn't request to play Auburn, but God is funny for the whole SEC realignment to happen, and then you get to play Auburn, who took your scholarship offer away on Christmas. You couldn't wait till the 26th. That's why Hugh Freeze.
I didn't even think about that.
You couldn't wait till the 26th.
You're right. You could have let me get on through the holidays, big dog. It's enough. And then you just gonna ruin my Christmas like that? Well, I'm gonna ruin your season. Hold this L right here. I love the pettiness of keeping a text from a long time ago when somebody did you wrong, because that's things that I do. I love it. It fuels me. It makes me a better person. And I love to see the success. And the Merry Christmas is really like what does it for me. Oh my God. That was assholish. And the thing is, KTSE, keep that same energy. You said Merry Christmas. I just said Merry Christmas back. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Get them all. Boxing Day too for the Canadians.
The funniest thing for me about this whole Auburn situation is Brian Harsin. So Brian Harsin was the head coach at Auburn before Hugh Freeze came back to the SEC. Brian Harsin was blamed for Auburn being terrible, as what happens when you're the head coach. And they said, you're a terrible coach, you can't coach, you're awful, they're getting you out of here. Hugh Freeze came in and has had the exact same record. I mean, to a T, as Brian Harsin, and he is letting y'all know on Twitter, on Instagram, on Threads.
I would too.
Whatever. He just be laughing. He be retweeting everything, laughing. He be in the comments. He be everywhere, and it's hilarious. That's probably my favorite thing about this whole situation.
I got time to be petty. Yeah, I'm happy about this. I would say that y'all may want to call Ohio State, and I'm gonna tell you, there's a guy up there called Brian Hartline who seems to be able to find receivers. Might be worth the dice roll here. See if you can change the trajectory of your program.
Man, Brian, you better not go to Auburn. You are at Ohio State, and you are getting the best receiver of the class, the best 2-3 receivers of the class every year.
But but you're also probably not on the short list of, like, Ryan Day is on a short leash, and I don't think that Brian Hartline is on the short list of people who can get his job. I would tell you, if they not giving you enough credit around there, we don't hear nearly enough. Like, we're the podcast that supports Brian Hartline. Nobody else is like, hey, are y'all paying attention? So yeah, go somewhere and get you know what I'm about. Go get your chicken.
They're paying. Okay.
And I also want to tell y'all, Reggie told us that Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL while he was throwing a touchdown. Mahomes has thrown another touchdown in that time period.
Bro,
and doing the Dougie.
Oh, don't say Red. You looked at it with me like, oh no, it's over with. that leg buckled. I was analyzing the muscle ripple and everything.
And it unbuckled. That fast. I'm talking about leg buckle, unbuckle.
Deer antler spray. DAS. That's what they were.
They say. I ain't gonna lie. You know they be talking about LeBron is on PEDs.
I saw.
I mean, it might be Mahomes. It
Oh.
might be Mahomes. 'Cause
Dad bod
Mahomes,
Mahomes.
hey, he got. Y'all know I love Mahomes, but he got a lot of magic now. That boy, he got a lot of magic. How the young people say, "Yeah, I got motion out here." His motion is unstoppable. He is
If he got it, if he doing it, then it's definitely LeBron. Because LeBron, I've seen him fall and his leg go the other way. He just get up and tighten his whole shoe and then get up and go dunk on 4 people.
But that is LeBron James. So there's probably not a more prototypical, like, perfect athlete than LeBron. But either way, they're both invincible as far as I'm concerned. Because as much as I think his ACL, I thought he'd be out for at least the rest of the game.
My man came back the next drive and scored a touchdown.
With me, I got it. Speaking of people who don't have it, University of South Carolina versus Texas A&M.
Beer, shout out to you, the Gamecocks Sandstorm. Won me some beers in this game. I told y'all South Carolina was going to win.
You lost them back though, but
I think I'm up for the year for the week. But South Carolina wins 44-20 in the game that wasn't even close, and I told y'all it was going to happen. Them defensive ends got to going. I was like, oh. And then shout out to South Carolina for listening to the Splashcast. You want to know how I know you listen? Because we said y'all need to do 2 things. Let the defense go crazy. Don't let that quarterback go crazy. Just let the defensive ends eat and throw the ball to Nicholas Harbor. First play of the game, they came and threw the ball deep to Nicholas Harbor. I said, well. Now, that quarterback for South Carolina, he's gotten better at throwing, but he is clearly a really good runner. Boy, he running all through Texas A&M defense.
Yeah, he's Jalen Milroe Jr. Yeah, you're probably not gonna be a quarterback, but you definitely have an NFL body, kid, NFL speed.
He was running through them.
I know last week's episode was reckless abandon, but this was reckless abandon. They was whooping their ass beginning, middle, and end. They never looked competitive. Texas A&M, y'all could have kept Kevin Sumlin for all of this, but y'all done done so far.
What they leading?
Reggie called it, and he called it with a level of conviction that I have rarely seen from him. But he was right.
I knew what this was.
For sure, right.
I knew what this was.
And
then when Texas A&M running back went out,
butt cutting.
Texas A&M's running back got hurt in the second quarter, and I said, "Oh well, I don't care how fast that quarterback is at Texas A&M. You ain't gonna be able to do
my boy.
You ain't gonna be able to do nothing."
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, shout out to South Carolina. I'm kind of nervous to open up a video, but shout out to South Carolina for Shane Beamer. You're starting to see the remnants of Kirby Smart and his staff and the way that he carries himself and his staff go to other schools. Shane Beamer got his job after being the tight ends coach at Georgia. He's the one that actually started the whole like Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington. He's the one that started, and then the guy we got now that came from Miami is the one that kept it going. But Shane Beamer is that guy.
He's another guy on the poach list. Keep an eye on that guy.
Yeah. Because he has, and he sang happy. He got the team to sing happy birthday, do the Fantasia song in the locker room to his wife, and jumped up and down and was jamming. And that is what kind of social media wise made Kirby Smart a real big deal. And now you're starting to see it with him and Dan Lanning, who are both from the Kirby Smart / Nick Saban tree. So South Carolina
Beamer's
told y'all.
Definitely a likable guy. I will give, because
opposite of his father.
And everybody's not really likable. Like, I don't think that Kirby's super likable. I just think that he's a real hard-nosed football coach, and he's a hell of a motivator. But I don't think people are like Lane Kiffin is likable, but he's likable because he doesn't take anything serious. He's the guy that you sit in the back of the room and laugh with.
You like Lane Kiffin when you're not his friend. I don't think Lane Kiffin he's an asshole. Like, he's a big asshole. Pause. Yeah,
but him and Kirby are different coins, like different sides of the same coin. Kirby's more of a hard-nosed asshole. Lane Kiffin is a clown asshole.
Steve
like,
Curtis.
Yeah, I'm going to score 70 on you. But you want to drink a beer afterwards?
Nick Saban and Steve Spurrier. That's really what it comes down to. Most SEC coaches are in that mode. Yeah. Nick Saban or
Spurrier's like, I scored 70, and I look to score 70 again next year.
Let's go play some golf. Let's go play some golf.
I don't think
Spurrier didn't really like
guy.
People. Yeah, he didn't really like people. He hated everything about Georgia.
I'm going to let you know. I'm going to try to score 70 again next year, and I don't plan to see you until next year. Don't talk to me. Spurrier is, I can tell you from guys who played with Spurrier, not the most likable guy, but get the job done.
Yep.
And boy, we'd rather have somebody get the job done than likable. I think Billy's probably likable.
You don't like losing. So Texas A&M upset City. Pitt.
Well played.
You called this one. SMU beat
I called
Pitt.
Both of these.
48. What? Both of what? Oh yeah, I skipped it. Sorry. 48-25. Pitt lost to SMU. I thought defense traveled. SMU said, no, it doesn't. They scored 48 points, and they scored it fast. Like, they scored it fast and often. It was 7-3, 7-7.
They needed this one because we had talked about it. They had the majority of their games have been super close, especially the teams that are what you would consider respectable. This was the first time that I feel like they really handily beat a team that was everybody believed it was about equal to them. So yeah, if I beat you by 23. Hey, don't put that dude around me no more. You got to put him somewhere else.
Yep.
But SMU is slowly proving, which is it. Like, that's the reason I'm a little frustrated. SMU is proving that you could have just bought your way to the top of the ACC if you spent a couple dollars. And SMU doesn't have prestige. You can't name their coach. But what did they do? They raised all that money in about a week. And then after that, never look back.
Yeah, and they're now they said, hey, y'all doing NIL. Let me tell y'all, we've been doing that since the 80s. And
we are the Pony Express. This is our bag, bro. Funny story. You want to talk about something that we're really good at doing? Oh, it's raising money.
So
we'll buy you. You standing around too long, big dog.
Yeah, so shout out to SMU. They won in the other game that Norwood did call.
Which is right now puts them at the top of the ACC.
Yes, and we'll get to
Miami, SMU.
So Texas Tech beat Iowa State, and it was a close game. I watched that. Ironically, I had all 5 of my TVs and screens on, and I watched just about every game. It was a battle back and forth to the end, and it was actually not randomly Big 12 football. Like, they were hitting. They were laying each other out. But
when it came down to, like, hey, it's time for us to score again, Texas Tech mustered up and found a way. And I'm just looking like, y'all gonna do this again? Don't let me down. Like, I picked y'all, and I picked y'all with a high level of confidence. Don't let me down. And then they didn't let me down. I was like, look at that.
Yep.
Which
Texas
Florida
Tech got Iowa State. Iowa State is now a 1-loss team, but because so many other people are losing, we really got almost zero clarity out of this week when you think about it. Texas Tech.
Yeah, you did. Clemson losing to Louisville, that drops him out of the ACC championship. Right now, and SMU, let me tell you, they're gonna walk in. All they play Boston College, Virginia, and Cal.
Who's the number 2 team? Oh, in Miami. Yeah. That's
Miami.
Clemson is out of the playoff picture. You're right. This was the clarity. They got it. They lost. This game and the Iowa State game is probably the 2 games that I was not confident in. I thought that Clemson was going to beat Louisville. I knew it was going to be close. Louisville led like wire to wire. They beat Clemson down.
Yeah, like, they're at a point now where you're hoping that Georgia Tech can beat Clemson. If Georgia Tech doesn't beat Clemson, Wake Forest and Syracuse is not going to do it. And the only reason that they could do it is because they have the probability of just having a weird offense. Outside of that, Clemson, you lost your season to Louisville, which I said, hey, Louisville, y'all can beat Clemson. And you said, ain't no way in hell. And then way in hell.
In Death Valley. Beat them to death in their home in Death Valley.
Well, I'll be damned.
And somebody said, and the biggest point of this all is we beat Clemson in football. And we always beat them. Somebody from Louisville said we beat Clemson in football. I think they said for the first time in history.
Yeah, I believe it. That's Louisville. Yeah, I'm happy though. Get Dabo out of there. You keep not dealing with the transfer portal. The portal gonna transfer you.
And you out of there because you about to go. Now let me tell you, Dabo, at the end of this season, you gotta go see South Carolina. And if you can't beat Louisville's defense, let me tell you what defense you not gonna beat. That is gonna be South Carolina defense.
That boy Beamer want to do it. He won't beat you, boy.
He don't like you.
He won't beat you good. That you know what that'll do for Beamer if he could if he could finish off Clemson, pause if applicable. You really put Clemson in a position where they might have to decide on whether or not he stays or leaves.
Well, and the backstory of that is when Beamer was at Georgia, Dabo was talking trash about the Georgia staff and Georgia football in general to recruits. Saying, oh, they don't got none of these rings at Georgia. They don't do that at Georgia. And Shane Beamer was on that coaching staff when he said that. And one thing I've noticed about the Nick Saban tree.
Villain origin story.
They don't forget.
I took that as disrespect.
They don't forget
took that as disrespect.
nothing. If you look at Dan Lanning, when he felt disrespected by Deion in Colorado coming in, he beat them down to death. They had to make a call because they was up 38-0 in the first quarter. I was like, oh, he trying to score 70 on them. Kirby Smart, same thing. And now Shane Beamer going to try to do it too. So it's a lot going on, man. And boy, Dabo, ACC, y'all better be careful. Miami, they going to have to make sure Miami wins because Florida State is the only team. They lost again, y'all. They were number 3 at the beginning of the year. Number 3. Florida State is the only team to not score over 21 points this season. Total, like in a game. And they've only scored 14 touchdowns in the entire year. For context, Ashton Genty has 19.
Mike Norvell, you listen here good. I didn't think that there was a way for you to get fired. You on the brink. Sometimes you just lose a team and it's over. And I think that you are pretty close. Losing to UNC 35-11
at home. I think this was homecoming.
This is embarrassing. Not being able to outcoach Billy Napier. At least Billy looked good against Georgia until the quarterback's leg fell off. You guys have just looked terrible since last year. The last time, since that bowl game, y'all just never, ever got back right. And I don't know what happened here. I don't know what you do with this. I think that sometimes you just blow it up, and the best thing you can do is just go in different directions.
I don't know.
That's all I got.
Well, you build your team off the transfer portal. You lose a lot of players to the draft. You lose.
You did lose a lot of good players. Jared Versus playing well. Keon Coleman. You lost your quarterback, Travis.
They lost Fisk, who's there with what's his name, Travis.
Jeez.
You lost a lot,
but you got to be able to do that now. That's the thing now. That
all of that don't matter at 1-11 or whatever you are, 1-8. That I can see 6-4, 8-2, 7-3, and they give you all right. Well, next year.
And it's the ACC. Like you lost a bunch of players, but
You losing to UNC, you losing to Louisville, you losing
to everybody. And y'all pissed me off. That's one thing that podcasting has told me. Just don't move. And I know I say it a lot, but everybody's like, oh, Georgia Tech good this year. And I said no. I've watched Georgia Tech play football for the last 30 years. It's the same Georgia Tech team. That's just what they are. They're not super good. They're not super terrible. I think they're probably middle or lower middle tier ACC team. That's what I think it is.
You can't blame them for thinking that, though. You beat the number 3 team in the nation. Nobody knew at the beginning of the year that Clemson, that Florida State, no, that Florida State was going to be 1-8 or whatever they are. No. 2-6, whatever that. Nobody knew that this was going to happen.
I didn't know that, but I knew that Georgia Tech, relax, big dog. That's it. It really made me mad early. But
so Georgia Tech of Nebraska, the after starting 5-1 and looking like a lock to reach the postseason for the first time since 2016. Yes, that's right, 2016, 8 years. Nebraska's season is once again on the ropes after a 27-20 loss to UCLA. What's crazy is they lost to UCLA.
Shout out to Deshaun Foster. I'm happy that. Oh my goodness, we probably got to get some free football, folks. But yeah, for me, I'm happy that Deshaun Foster got this win against Nebraska. Remember, he's the new head coach at UCLA, and he's trying to turn that program around. Matt Rhule, this is tough though, bro. You went from the Panthers, and everybody was like, "Oh, it was you," and you were like, "No, it's just the Panthers being a really bad organization." Now here you are in Nebraska, and you look like you almost had it together, and then now it is falling apart. Where do you go from here?
What's crazy about this whole situation is with Nebraska, it really makes me kind of squint my eyes at Ohio State a little bit, because Nebraska should have beat Ohio State last week. Full stop. They were
Ohio State is not the Ohio State that they used to be.
But they were hold on. They were in Ohio State. They were in Columbus, and everybody was like, "Oh, Nebraska played. They barely won and all that." I mean, Nebraska should have won that game, and it was just a fluke. Well, Ohio State don't look that great, and also you also have to qualify this. If you look at the stats, I think Dylan Raiola got hurt in this game too. I believe he got hurt, and he was taken out of the game, if I'm not mistaken. So. But Matt Rhule, you have had a hell of a run of bad luck since you left. Was it Baylor? He was Baylor's coach when they beat Georgia.
Right.
When they played
part
Georgia.
That frustrates me about. Like, I know Baylor and South Carolina State are not the same. Wow, Bake touchdown. But like the way that these. No. The way that these guys get opportunities and then just never look good again. We've seen this happen time after time. I wish the black coaches were presented with some of them. But Matt Rhule get another PWI. He'll go probably be a coordinator, and then he'll get another chance to be a head coach again versus these HBCU guys who go from place to place and lift these programs up and leave these programs in better places, and then they have to go be running backs coaches like Willie Simmons. It's frustrating to me.
Yep. And the Big 12 is just a big soup of mid. Houston upsets Kansas State, who was in the driver's seat to make it to the Big 12 championship.
Tricked it off.
I don't know. I think it's BYU and Colorado. I think Colorado still has an outside chance of making it to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, they
do. So an upset city. So Kansas State ends up losing this game. And they actually were leading. They had a double-digit lead, and they lost this game, if I'm not mistaken. So the one thing you can say about this college football season is they wanted parity, and this realignment plus the 12-team playoff, there is a lot of parity.
Get everything you want.
Yep. So now the new AP poll is out. Of course, this is week 9. But yeah, so this is not the new poll, but the new poll is going to be Oregon number 1, Georgia number 2, Ohio State number 3. I believe Miami is 4, Texas is 5. And then
Penn State 6, Tennessee 7, Indiana 8, BYU 9, Notre Dame 10, Bama at 11, Boise at 12, SMU at 13, LSU at 14.
Yep.
Texas A&M at 15, and Ole Miss at 16. That's what's frustrating about this is, let me clear up what I think is really real here. Oregon is real until proven otherwise. Georgia is real. Ohio State is not better than Miami. Ohio State is not better than Texas. Then you have Penn State. Penn State is not better than Tennessee. I'm interested to see what Indiana does for the rest of the season. BYU should. This is what I don't believe in BYU. I don't believe in Notre Dame, and I don't believe in Boise. I don't. And I know it's just my SEC bias going crazy, because that's all I'm really doing is saying, hey, I respect Oregon, I respect Miami, and then the SEC. But I think that's right. I don't think that I'm wrong for believing that.
Yeah. But what it does do is set up for a lot of good games for the end of the season. So next week we got UGA and Ole Miss. That's 2 versus 14, if I'm not mistaken. So you have UGA and Ole Miss, and we don't know what we're going to get out of Carson.
Y'all going to lose. Y'all going to lose. Y'all are going to lose.
No, I ain't going to say that.
I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my fingernails. I feel it in my DNA. I feel like Jackson Dart is finna get up there and he's going to throw some darts. And he is going to get y'all. Because I'm going to tell y'all could have been had this year. Y'all could have been had versus Florida. If Lagway plays, we beat y'all because we managed the lead. But we knew that once Lagway went out, there was no way for us to score any points.
One completion, he said that.
I'm telling you right now, yes. And I will go to my grave believing that.
Well, you should, because you'll never find out.
You right. You right.
You should. Well, okay. You think we're going to lose? Florida play Texas.
Oh, we're going to lose too. L.
Interception. Oh, incomplete. Oh, okay. Florida plays Texas, but the game of the week is going to be Alabama LSU.
And
you got Michigan, Indiana.
Lagway, bro.
You got Michigan, Indiana, Colorado, Texas Tech, South Carolina versus Vandy, which is a very, very interesting game. Who knew? But the game is going to be Alabama LSU and Georgia versus Ole Miss. The Alabama LSU is a de facto empty. Is a de facto playoff game, because whoever loses that game is out of the SEC championship running and out of the playoff running at that point. So
Ole Miss wins, Texas wins because we don't play DJ Lagway and the other quarterback, he ain't ready. Bama and LSU is, to me, the best. It's going to be the most fun to watch. It's really the only real game here. No, it's not. UGA Ole Miss.
UGA Ole Miss, Florida, because it's in Oxford. It's in Oxford, Mississippi.
Florida and Texas is not real. No DJ Lagway. We don't stand a chance against a Texas team. We ain't that. LSU and Bama is Bama. Can you get Milroe to play well enough to score enough points? LSU gonna put up the points. Can y'all stop Bama? This is the game where you gonna miss Harold Perkins a lot. This is the game. With Weeks, this is the game where you make yourself a defensive back in the NFL. You need about 15 tackles. Indiana is probably going to beat Michigan because Michigan doesn't have a quarterback on their roster who can throw the ball.
And they don't have a coach under contract still.
Oh, he going to get fired.
How you going to get fired? You ain't got no contract. You not employed.
Yeah.
You a temp.
Reggie been waiting on him. But hey.
Because it didn't make any sense. I was like, bro, they setting him. We called it. We knew that they were setting him up for failure. They was like, yeah, he's still negotiating the contract into week 3. I said, oh, they about to.
You black, right?
Terrible.
You know this school just got done with scandal. they can get rid of you and erase the scandal at the same time. Oh boy,
They're crying. Now that crying mean gonna be known for a whole nother reason now.
Yeah,
all that crying. Yep.
When you did all that crying and they still fired you, that's all that's gonna be. They gonna
But, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the college football segment of episode 165 of the Splashcast. We will now get to the NFL segment after this break. We're going to talk about the Falcons and the Cowboys, the pain in New Orleans. Got to talk about the Commanders. I promised I would talk about Commanders to a new viewer. And we'll also talk about the other games as well. The Saquon Barkley new highlight, and we'll run through the rest of those scores. We don't really care about the rest of that stuff. But
sure don't.
Y'all stay tuned, like, follow, subscribe. Go get you a beverage. It's 11:16. I got PTO tomorrow. Off again.
I don't.
I do. I told you. I
have
a
a
whole
full
lot.
schedule.
Not your boy. Yeah. So y'all stay tuned. Like, follow, subscribe. We'll be right back.
Hold on. So they do like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, boy.